now together again as a unit. We have reformed.
Nice.
On the correct day.
On the correct day. Oh, I sense some shade there. What do you want me to do? Cancel Defiant? I got to go.
Yeah.
God.
I'll tell you what, that did throw a spanner in the works, though, because that was their filming day. So now we've got to film 2 episodes of Free Agent this week. We've got to get our Patreon supporters up to scratch.
Yep.
And as we shall, because our Patreon supporters keep us going. They keep the lights on. And we really appreciate the support. Thank you very much indeed. But you know the drill, folks. If you are a Patreon supporter, which you can do by going to patreon.com/Joe Hendry, just a shout out as well. Your Free Agent t-shirts will be arriving in the next few days for this month's shirt. And the pops are almost finished as well. So
is that the Weezer one?
No, they've already had the Weezer one.
They've had the Weezer one.
We do have one new person who will be receiving the Weezer one this month.
Oh.
But anyway, so the first thing we'll do is that threw me off there.
Sorry.
You got me there. You got me there. I do want to give a shout out though, because if you're a tier 3 plus patron, you get shouted out by name on each podcast and episode of Free Agent. So I want to give a shout out to James Malley, Ian Downey, Heat312, Ian Callan Lees, Tony Madden, Gordon Brown, Adam Secord, Kirsty Bailey, Gunnar, Barbara Good, Adam Wilson, Jennifer Polton, Daniel Bettencourt, Ann191, David, I'm going to say Ant191, sorry, it sounded like And191, but Ant191, David McCarthy, Kieran Prophet Holmes, Fiona Edge, Clayton Davis, Brian Smith, James Pointer, Jordan Schofield, Laura Baird, Mark, Will Ledwith, Mal Callan, Jamie Flood, Joe's mum, and I want to welcome someone new to this mentioning club, and their name is, let me just go back here, very hard to reach the mouse from here. I want to welcome Chris McCulloch as well, who has joined. Welcome, Chris.
Welcome.
So, thank you for that. Next up, we're going to give a shout out to this is impossible. I can't, look at my arms. I can't reach the mouse. It's making it very difficult.
You know, it's almost like...
I was going to say,
these... I know.
You know
what?
Well, no. I move forward, and then you move it even more forward. That's just so not helpful.
See if they had adjustable mics that you could do like...
Yeah, imagine if you could
Imagine you
move
could
the
do that.
microphone and then
Holy
move your
shit,
chair
then.
forward.
That'd be
That'd be just...
That'd be a
It's
game
an
changer.
We should probably get, like, that patented.
Yeah, we probably should. It's an amazing concept, but not more amazing than the concept developed by Wrestling Travel. Go to wrestlingtravel.org because folks, these folks are on the ball. I've known them for a long time. Awesome company. Their boss was literally voted like the best boss in the UK. They had a ball pit in the office. Yes.
What?
And I went to the office and there's just like dogs running around, and it's honestly, it's so cool.
That sounds like a dream.
It is awesome.
Did you take Gromit?
No, because I didn't have Gromit when I went down
Oh,
last
did you
time.
not?
But I'm gonna go down, and I would love to take Gromit to the Wrestling Travel office. But the reason these folks are so awesome is they've got a lot of experience with basically setting up travel packages for a variety of different industries. They had an amazing business. The growth was unbelievable, but they're huge wrestling fans, and they were like, "Look, we're killing it in all these other businesses. Why don't we do this for wrestling fans?" So that's what they've done. If you want to go to WrestleMania 36 in Tampa, if you want to go to Royal Rumble in Houston, if you want to go to Wrestle Kingdom, if you want to go to Starcast, if you want to go to Double or Nothing, if you want to go to any of these events, go to wrestlingtravel.org. And what they do is you pay them one fee. And because they've got lots of people going through them, they can negotiate better ticket deals, better flight deals, stuff like that. So you get amazing seats, you get awesome travel, you get great hotels. Everything's taken care of with one price. You just basically go to them, pay the fee, and they take care of absolutely everything. You just have to go and enjoy yourself and enjoy being a wrestling fan. So again, do check it out. It's wrestlingtravel.org. Again, folks, we don't just go ahead and advertise anything on the podcast. I'm giving these people the personal, prestigious stamp of approval. And also, to be honest with you, they've gone out of their way to support myself on a number of occasions. And by supporting this podcast and investing in Free Agent, they're helping us keep the content going as well, just like the Patreon supporters are. And to me, that says a lot about who they are as a company, reaching out to grassroots personalities within wrestling like us and investing in what we're doing as well. So as a favor, please go check out wrestlingtravel.org. So there you go.
Nice.
Next up, let's go to where the games are played. It's hip, it's fresh. Oh, no, sorry. It's cool, it's fresh, it's Grapple Arcade. It was a lot smoother last week. when I
It
did that.
was, of course. way
It was.
smoother.
It was. Someone pointed out that Grapple Arcade fitted perfectly into the Noah's Arcade jingle from Wayne's World, which it does. I'll need to. It's let's bust a move where the games are played. It's cool. It's fresh. It's Grapple Arcade. There you go. That's it.
It actually makes a lot of sense as well.
It does.
You know?
It does. And the reason is because what do we talk about in this podcast? Just pick one random word. Games. Games. Pick another one.
Wrestling.
Wrestling. Okay, there's wrestling or
Arcades?
wrestling. I was going to say.
Oh, right,
wrestling
okay.
was just
I don't know what you were going for there.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
We're wrestling.
wrestling.
That's
But anyway,
not wrestling.
we talk about wrestling, we talk about video games. Those are our two big topics. So Grapple Arcade is the perfect sponsor. And I'm telling you now, you got to go check out their feed. Go on Twitter. It's at Grapple Arcade. Twitter.com/Grapple Arcade. Why? Because they've got loads of amazing free to enter competitions with loads of amazing prizes. That's on the Twitter. Go check that out. They've also got their YouTube channel, youtube.com/Grapple Arcade. Again, it makes sense.
Makes
Grapple
perfect
Arcade
sense.
on Twitter,
It does.
Grapple Arcade on YouTube.
Yep.
Go follow them. Again, same as Wrestling Travel. These folks are investing their time and money into helping us, so we like to encourage our fans to go check them out. Every time you visit Grapple Arcade and Wrestling Travel, every time you visit our sponsor, it really helps us out. So go check out their YouTube as well, youtube.com/Grapple Arcade, and they've got a show called Hands Off the Merchandise, where they unbox and review new and retro merchandise, along with interviews with wrestlers from around the world. I've also said on many occasions, I will do an interview with them. I want to do an interview with them. I like the grappling. I like the arcading, man.
The arcading.
I like it. Also they run retro wrestling video game events around the country. I've been to one as well. They had SmackDown Here Comes the Pain.
Nice.
They had No Mercy. Dude, they had the whole thing.
We're going to have to go.
We will go. We will
need to
go.
go one.
And we will
And
document.
I will win.
You probably will. Well, it depends. If we play the game fresh that we've never played before, one of us will win. But if you get any opportunity to know what it is beforehand,
If I've played it
Yeah.
beforehand, like Here Comes
we're
the
done.
Pain.
Yeah, we're done.
Dude,
I don't know, man, because I went into the What Culture offices and absolutely smacked everyone up at Here Comes the Pain on a Twitch broadcast, and I'm talking like it was not even close.
Oof.
Not even close. Massacred them all.
I also did once beat you at some form.
You
of-
did.
Yeah.
You did. I remember that. I used to, and the thing that was so distressing about it was I played basically the WWE wrestling games all day, every day back then, and you just played it once and whipped me, and I was like,
You were like actually
I was
really
upset.
mad.
I was no,
Yeah.
I wouldn't even say mad. I was upset.
I remember you being like, all right, yeah, that's whatever. Let's play wrestle.
Let's play wrestling.
Yeah, let's
I'm just like,
let's see what happens then. Let's see what
Yeah.
happens then.
Ganzo bomb through the couch.
Yeah, God, what a crazy move, the Ganzo bomb. But anyway, we digress. Folks, do check out Grapple Arcade. Thank you very much to our sponsors, to our Patreon supporters. Have we really just done that? Have we really spent 10 minutes talking about advertisers? We talked a little bit
we
about
have one more to go.
We have one. We do.
We do have one more.
We have even more.
We do. Let's make it. Let's just do a whole podcast.
Yeah,
of just-
it's all ads.
Yeah, can you imagine if we did that and it was like 55 minutes? It was like, well, folks, that's all the time we got. But thanks so much. Anyway,
Shout out to the ads
yeah,
again,
yeah. So, I noticed you just leave it there for me to pick up, and it's this awkward thing where I've kind of got to, like, if I'm not careful, brush past you. Can we just set a new precedent?
How
where you
is
hand
that
me the phone?
weird?
It's not weird, but it's just like it's just come on, man.
It is a bit. It is a bit.
It's just I don't want to know just
Would it help if I take it? If I put it back, right? Would it help if I do this? Would that help?
Yes.
Okay.
There you go.
But then your
You know,
hands.
I know.
might touch.
So let's
Oh,
do, I'll tell you what.
no.
If you pick it up again,
I need to do it
right?
from this end.
Yeah. So
Like
there you
this.
go. And just like if you just hover above my hand and just drop, just drop. There you go.
Right.
There you go. No,
No contact
The-
there.
the-
But
go.
Dave's hand has touched the
that's
foam.
true.
My hands are
Before.
clean
That's true.
though.
We need gloves.
That's
We
true.
need those.
Okay, so
rubber.
I'll use this which I used to pick up Gromit's crap.
I don't think this is really a good one for reading an ad.
Why? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You're probably-
Maybe after.
I'll use a doggy bag to read the advert. The people who pay us money.
yeah. So,
Yes.
we'll move on.
Yeah, let's just-
we'll forget whoever
Yeah.
that was going to be. We'll move on to the advertiser.
Yeah,
after.
another
another advertiser. And
completely
let's
different.
have a look. It's Beer 52. How would you like a free case of craft beer?
After that, I would.
Well, as a listener to our show, we'd like to thank you for listening with the help of our friends at Beer 52. Just go to beer52.com/Henry to claim a free case. Beer 52 is the world's most popular monthly craft beer discovery club, searching out incredible and exclusive small batch craft beers from the world's greatest breweries and bringing them back for their members. There's a whole new world of craft beer out there, and this is your chance to get on board. As a listener to the show, you can try your case for free. You just got to pay the £2.95 postage. Or we called it something else a few weeks ago.
Postage.
No, it was something else. It wasn't good. We mispronounced postage, but we won't do that this week because there's 8 incredible craft beers, Ferment Magazine, and a snack delivered with free next day shipping. It is a no-brainer. It is without brain because there's no minimum commitment. You can just take the free case, try the beers, and see what you think. And if it's not for you, you can pause or cancel at any time because Beer 52 is a 5-star rating on Trustpilot, so it's easy to see where their members love the service. And if you don't want to continue with it, you can just tell them.
Piss off!
Wow, that was weird.
Yes.
That wasn't helpful at all.
You could tell them to piss off.
But you won't because you will love Beer 52. So go to beer52.com/Henry and claim your free case.
Nice.
That's the word beer, the
Claim
number
it.
52. Go claim it. Go do it. We
Claim
had
it now.
We liked it. We loved it.
Claim it.
We did.
Claim it. Anyway,
Get
so
it claimed.
here we are.
Oh, here. So,
Let's jump in.
Oh, let's do it. What's oh, wow. What an ad read. That was the best ad read we've ever had, I think.
It was
man, I'm
100%.
exhausted after that.
I'm exhausted,
Well, I'm
yeah.
done, guys. Season
I know,
I feel like that's all we got time for today.
That's all the energy I've got time for.
Well, yeah, like, the commitments are done. Now we're just doing it for, like, the fans. Like, ugh. I don't really want to put in the effort, to be honest.
So, peoples, what's been going on? Jake?
Not much. I've just been working a whole lot. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty much been it. I've just been working non-stop.
Nice.
Very tiring.
Joe, what have
Yeah.
you been up to? You've been up to some things.
I have
You've been keeping busy.
I've been keeping busy, keeping too busy. I need a break.
Interesting.
So I'm getting to, when I get to that point where I'm just like, I'm tired.
Yeah.
I'm tired. I've been loading up the schedule. We're making lots of progress. But folks, you need to recognize when you're mentally and physically tired. And I'm exhausted. So it's my birthday next week.
Oh.
So I think I'm going to take a little break. I do this every time. I've got nothing planned. Planned. I haven't, I don't know.
Like, we tried to do something last year, but it was just sort of crumbled.
Yeah.
See, I never do
You just,
anything for my
couldn't
birthdays
get
either.
the
I just
time.
sort of I don't know. Don't know.
Just let them happen.
I don't really do anything for my birthday.
You got a surprise party.
Yeah.
But you found out, didn't you?
Yeah.
How'd you find out?
I can't even remember.
Mate, somebody posted about it
I saw, like, a text
Yeah.
that I wasn't supposed to see, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh.
And he had
But,
to be like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
Thanks. This bar I never go to sounds cool.
Yeah.
That local Witherspoons.
I'm not really a big party person. It was fun. It was really nice. I'm just
It
not
was
a massive
good.
party. Like, for me, I don't like being the center of attention very much.
Oh, really?
That's my
I don't
problem.
either.
Yeah, of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hello. Hi.
Howdy.
That was mean.
We're recording.
We are recording.
Well, I mean, I'm sure Sophie doesn't want to just be in the background while she's getting
That's
from
true.
work,
That's
you know?
true. That's true.
Oh, I'm feeling pretty good.
Can I just, before we move on to yourself, I want to point one thing out to you. Do you like the new Knuckles action figure?
Very nice.
There
I
you go.
did see it. Where'd you get that from?
Now, I want to pretend that a fan gave it to me. I don't really want to imply that I went out of my way and went onto the Sega official shop to buy it.
To buy a little Knuckles character.
Yeah, to buy a toy, a child's toy.
Okay.
I'll tell you why I did it, because my Dreamcast T-shirt doesn't really fit, and it's an XL, and I was like, what the hell? So I got the 2XL T-shirt, and while I was there, I was like, well, I'm getting something delivered to my house, might as well just, add in a little Knuckles. So we got the cast of Final Fantasy VII, and Knuckles is now joining
That's
them.
what I'm gonna.
A fan gave me
Super
Luigi as well. There's Luigi as well.
Oh, nice.
nice.
I'm
But
gonna use that term whenever I'm gonna like go and like sort someone out. Just be like, I'm gonna go speak to him and maybe add a little Knuckles.
That's good. All right.
That
Yeah.
guy, he's
Very
been
threatening.
he's been getting on my tits, man. I'm gonna go and speak to him. Find out what's going on.
And add a Knuckles.
Might add some Knuckles.
Go for it, man. What's been happening?
So I made my return back to pro.
Oh,
wrestling.
yes. I nearly said the
Yes.
S word, but I didn't.
It's funny. I remember when we were doing like the Twitch streaming originally, and you were like, "Right now, you can't swear." It was like you've got to be clean, and every time the first one to break on swearing was always you. Every time.
Really?
Yeah, it was, dude. It happened all the time.
That
You
sounds like
did
A lot more than
unfiltered, like unable to just like control yourself.
Yeah, way
fully.
more than us.
Yeah,
Way more than
no,
us.
we totally forgot the lighting.
Yes.
To be fair, Dave,
See, I'm pretty bad. Yeah.
but so am I.
Dave is hands down the worst.
What? No.
Swearing?
Oh, for swearing, yeah.
Are you having a laugh, mate? Well, did you just think I meant like Dave's the worst person out of the three? Is that
No,
like-
in terms of
Dave
things,
is just the worst.
Dave's terrible.
in terms of I don't know, but
We're
anyway,
just
so,
sort of stuck with him out of fear.
so made my return to pro wrestling. Was victorious. Spoiler alert. Enjoyed it. The road to gold has officially began.
What is the road to gold?
The road to gold is my pathway. I decided that this year, if not this year is very similar to what yourself actually, where I've decided that this year is going to be the year that I start forging ahead and actually looking at pro wrestling more like a business and looking at it more looking at it more for kind of building what I can using what I have to my ability, being really true to who and what I am. Not really. Let's put it this way: most of the people that have either kind of put blockades on my way or sort of put me down a little bit have either fallen off the wayside or they're not around in the scene anymore.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a bit of a freeing feeling where I'm just like, I don't, you know what I mean? It doesn't really matter what anybody else thinks. It's like, just do my thing and trust the process. And I think that, like you said before, I think pro wrestling's coming back around, and I think that my style is going to be something that's going to be useful coming forward. And I think if this year I'm on the path for
You want to win a title?
I'm on the path to win some championship gold. Let's be honest, I've been in the game 5 years and I haven't won a single title. And it's like it's time.
We got to fix that.
It's time. And I think this year is going to be the year where I'm going to say it right now. I think I'm going to win at least one good level title. I think that's going to be the goal this year.
Good.
Finally make that change.
Which got me thinking.
Oh, got you thinking.
It did get me thinking. Now,
You've been thinking.
would you ever do a pro wrestling match?
I mean, probably not.
But what if it just involved you going in and pinning someone for a title?
You could literally just
Yeah,
wear
do
what you're
that.
wearing now and do your thing.
Because
Do
I
that.
thought like,
As long as it required like minimal effort.
yeah, like you might have to get in the ring. Because I'm thinking if it was,
You'd have to train me on how to get in the ring.
yeah. You think that's a joke?
It's
No,
true.
no, like, I'm being serious. Yes, because I know it's
Dude.
not that easy.
Every time you're just like, I didn't want to trip, get in the ring. You just know it's one of these days.
Well,
it's
You
gonna
know,
happen.
you know what I would do? I would do the run and the slide.
It's
No,
harder
don't
than
wanna
you
do
think.
Is that harder?
Well, that's how Vince McMahon
Tore his quads,
tore
man.
both his quads. Yeah.
Dude, it's harder than you think. Like some of the rings are like, I think the WWE rings have got quite a bit of space between the bottom rope and the apron, and the apron bit.
Well, as someone who has ran the WWE ropes on several occasions, I'll tell you what, the WWE ropes are so tight. Like,
Really?
yeah, they don't. You have to run into them. I kind of like that.
You got to
know?
attack them.
Yes, you have to. They're just like, or they
be
will just be
aggressive.
still.
Well, that's
Yes.
how I was. That's my theory on it. When I was first running the ropes, I was like, I want to fucking attack
Wait,
the ropes.
Whereas when you're like on some indie shows, it's literally like it's like Wile E. Coyote, just like
I've not been to many wrestling shows, but I've seen the ropes just break apart.
Dude, I've wrestled
multiple times.
I've wrestled in rings where you can't physically run the ropes because the ropes are just not. They've got nothing to them. They're just rope.
I'm pretty sure.
And you're just like.
I'm pretty sure one of the ropes broke when I was running it in training. I think I may have just invented that memory, but I'd seem to remember something like that happening.
I know you fell out the ring once doing an up and over.
Oh man, that was crazy. So
because you were too athletic for your size.
Yeah, there's this move called an up and over, and I am not joking. I genuinely reckon. So the up and over is when you run into the corner and you basically put your hands on the turnbuckle and you lift your legs up over your opponent's head. Right?
Yeah. So like they're
one,
running and you like jump.
You
over.
jump
yes,
up behind.
So
that.
I genuinely believe I had one of the best up and overs in the world at one point. Like I would go up like totally vertically.
I believe I still do.
Right? Well,
just never
not
did.
anymore.
I just
not
never
anymore.
did.
Because when I was in training one time, I just went, it just
right
like
over.
Front flipped over
I
the
saw
top.
it. I remember
there's the
you went
pole.
up.
Yeah,
That
I know.
would hit your
So
head.
no.
Where'd it hit?
It would impale your spine, right?
Bro.
So basically, you would go over and you would front bump it and it would impale your spine. And a trainee ran up and caught me.
Bro, I remember you were literally because I remember you went up high and because we were doing so there was an old drill, so it's one of the drills you do, which is the up and over drill in training. It's to practice movement, footwork, and like Irish whips and things. And so basically, one guy is basically like doing Irish whips corner to corner. The other guy's doing the up and overs. And I remember you're going and you've done a couple of them, and I'm just like, oh man, he's going high. Like, because this was the funny thing, because we, as bigger guys, I think no one expected us to be able to do it. But because we've got strong arms and like we've got strong upper bodies, you have to use your upper body strength to push yourself up, right? And you were going up high as hell, and I remember just going like, oh, man, he's going quite high, man. I was like, oh, he's getting higher. And then you just go over to the corner, and I swear to God, you did like a handstand.
And it was like stopped, and there
Your
was just
feet were like in the air, pointing to the sky, and I was like, oh no. And I just saw you like tip forward, and I was like,
horrifying.
oh shit. I was like, he's gonna die. And some guy, I can't remember who it was.
I know. I can't even remember
Who
the poor
were
person
you?
who
were you?
Yeah, and he got up and basically caught me
Saved
and
your
took,
ass,
took
man.
one for the team. Yeah.
Oh my
well, but the
God.
thing is though, it messed up my leg. I landed on my leg, and I remember I was there, and this was a few weeks before my first ever tryout, and everyone just looked around.
Dude, we all shat it, man.
Yeah, and my leg was like not good, and I remember walking around outside, and I was like, "Oh, I hope this is." I'll tell you, there's another story like that, and it was the night that I won the WCPW title, now the Defiant title, right? So this was like the biggest title, most important title, like at that point, that was the biggest title in the biggest company in Europe, basically, right?
pretty
at
much.
the time, right? So. And I'm gonna become the champion. And in my mind, I've got a title match that night, and all I've got to do is one promo and then go do the match, and I'm the champ. That's it. Everything changes after that.
Yep.
And I remember
Life is not so simple though.
and I got out there, and I was like, I can't believe this. Like, so I went out there. Well, I've got confidence in my abilities that I would win the title match. Obviously. So I go out, I do the promo, and I'm walking back, and I'm thinking, that's it. I just need to go out, wrestle, beat the champ, and then I'm the champion.
Easy.
And I was walking down, and I remember Travis Banks was in front of me, and I just went, I'm just going to do that one more time. My ankle went, like that.
Okay.
Right?
For the audio listeners,
Rolled
you
the
rolled your
ankle.
ankle.
Yes. And
Right.
I
Did you have
remember-
your boots on?
Yes. And I remember
Oh.
Travis Banks looked at me with just like a shocked gaze, like kind of like, uh-oh.
So I was walking down to your match.
No, on the back from the promo.
Oh,
Before at the start of the show, the match was at the end of the show. So, and I remember I started to feel it and swell up. And I remember I said to him, I was like, "This doesn't feel good, but I'm not untying my laces until this show's over." Like, I was like, I don't care, man. I do not care.
bro. I've had that happen a couple of times to me from opponents that's happened to. Where like I'll be like getting ready for the match and somebody's like, I was sitting there and I go and some are like, we've got them. We're kind of doing what we're doing. We're gonna go out and wrestle. And the guy comes up and he's like, what's going on here?
Sorry, I'm just gonna have to
Cut a thread off.
Cut a tag.
I had to get rid of that tag. It was bothersome. Sorry.
And he's basically just like, oh, mate, you're not gonna believe this. I've just like buggered my ankle. And I was like,
Who's
how-
it that was saying this? Or
uh,
are you protecting identity? What?
I'll protect identity for that one.
Okay. Right.
But then so one of the other ones was
It was
actually
The
quick.
Rock.
It was, yeah. I was lucky enough to work against The Rock. We did. I did another one. I'll name this guy. This was it was me and DCT were gonna wrestle, right?
Right.
And we're literally like on. I think the first spot he buggered his ankle.
Oh.
And it was just like, I can't remember what it was. We were gonna do. The cutoff was gonna be a.
Well, I mean, you had an idea to impose your will against your opponent.
Well, of course.
is what you're saying.
I was
took
basically.
advantage of
I
his
said to
injury.
myself, you know what I'm gonna do? I said when he's running at me, I'm gonna hot shot him. That's what I'm gonna do. Or a stun gun him. That's what I'm gonna stun gun him. Yeah, so stun gun's a good old school move. I was like, I'm gonna stun gun him.
Is that legal?
Of
You're allowed to just bring a taser to the ring.
course.
Is that not how Goldberg got beat?
Yes.
Is that actually what happened?
Yes.
Yeah, that was like his first loss, I think.
Dude, he was what 171 and 0 or something like that, 178 and 0, and they're like, well, we can't beat him, so we just better tase him to death. Dude, I tell you what, man, from a character standpoint, that's actually like, yeah, that makes sense. Had to tase him,
Yeah.
but so I'm like, right, I'm gonna stun gun him, and as he's running towards me, he just like ankle just goes, and I was like, oh shit, and it's just like, oh, fuck my ankle, and I was like, yep. So it was just like, can't run anymore, can't do any of those things. Oh, no jumping or anything anymore. I was like, we will work this out, and we did.
I remember I had the first independent wrestling match ever in Romania. Believe it or
Nice.
not. So I remember at the time, like, now this is a weird thing. Now, tell me who was right here, because I feel like I made the right call, but I don't know. Now, poor Tom, who owns kind of, I think is it RWA? It's like Romanian Wrestling Alliance.
Yeah.
So I
Dude, I seen
remember
him
at
at
the
the
time,
weekend.
he great guy. He brought me over to Romania, right? And he wanted the wrestlers backstage, right? But the news were there. The news were there, and they were
God.
like, "Look, we'll cover the story if we can talk to a wrestler." And I'm like, "Well, I'll do it." And Tom's like, "Get backstage, get backstage." I'm like, "But it's the news, you know?" And like, but he was like, "Wrestlers backstage." I was like, "It's the news, you know?" And I to this day I don't know how I feel about that, because should I have just done what the promoter said? But part of me
No.
was like, but by doing
the news.
yeah, it's the news, it's the news, man, it's the news. I'm like, come on, bro. It's like they're covering. It's the first independent wrestling show. So, but I remember, because they haven't seen like much wrestling over there, like over here, you have to basically hit someone with a taser to get like.
It's like, basically, it's Game of Thrones where they play the horn when there's like White Walkers or something at the wall. Just like, and Joe's just like, it's the news, you know? It's the news.
I
So-
don't defend the realms of men, but it's the news.
So yes, it,
Everybody to the shelters! That is the news.
Local Romanian news need a story about this wrestler before World War III breaks out.
So what happened? Did you end up going backstage?
I did the news interview. Of course I did the news
know what?
interview. Come on.
I would-
I took the heat for it, but I did the news interview. Of course I did.
In that scenario, I think you did the right thing.
Yeah, yeah.
I think you did.
Depends which promotion. But anyway, I remember, as it says in the comments, it was in a boxing ring. So I was wrestling Paul Tracy, and again, sporting contest. But let's just say the strategy of the match was to bounce off the ropes many, many times.
Oh.
And first time I go to hit the ropes, don't let the whole ring just like the ropes go at the top, and I'm like, first bit of the first match, the ring's like destroyed. It was like, what are we gonna do?
Oh.
Yeah. So that was an interesting one. But actually, I was really proud of the match, and that's where I was glad that I feel I got taught fundamentally well, because we were able to get through that. But it was like, see if you hit I hit a shoulder tackle at one point, and it was like, oh, like, and again, it's like, it makes me realize that us as wrestlers, we've ruined wrestling, because now it's like,
We
well, have you ever
individually
you ever
I've
played?
tried.
You know, you get like summons in Final Fantasy VII.
Yep.
You have to like hit Knights of the Round Table from Final Fantasy VII to get like.
I'll tell you what, man. That's where I felt pretty good on Sunday because of that. Like we got we were
What, you hit Knights of the Round Table? And your
basically,
opponent-
mate. No, we basically hit simple stuff and people were enjoying it.
Dave
Man.
uses psychic.
But I know what you mean. It's literally just like now it has to be like. Remember in like the old WWE games, like Here Comes the Pain, you could load up like 5 finishers.
Yeah.
And it's just like 5 finishers, like straight away jackhammer from Goldberg.
I like see if you when you loaded up with 5 finishers, if you went The Rock, the other part, and you got one, it's over because you just needed to hit the people's elbow like 5 times, and then it's like
Yeah.
you're done.
Remember you could do like chair finishers and stuff.
Oh,
like,
that was amazing.
You could hold the chair and be like chair finisher, and you'd give him like he'd do like the Van Daminator or something. So just like The Rock would just throw the chair.
I know. It was like,
He's just like-
it was like every. There were certain things in those games where like every wrestler had the same move. Do you remember everyone had that DDT? On
Yeah.
The chair? Everyone had the DDT, and in the TNA game, like everyone had like the same. Like the TNA game is one of my favorite wrestling games ever.
That
Like,
was the game that
it's
featured
so fun.
my favorite wrestler
Yep.
of all time, Shark Boy.
Indeed. But it's like you'd be playing it and like it was like I can't remember what it was, but it was like Sting had like the same moves off the top as like AJ Styles and stuff. It was like everyone had like pretty much the same moves. But that game is so underrated, the TNA game. So underrated.
I remember graphically it looked amazing.
I
I
know.
remember there was a magazine. It was like a gaming magazine or something I had years and years ago. And the screenshot they kept showing was of Booker T. And just the detail in his like face and shit. I was like, fucking hell, that looks just like him. I was like, wow, they were way ahead when it came to like the graphics.
That's interesting.
At least.
In the comments, Ginger Pimpernel says one of the N64 WCW games had a realism switch, so you could go Goldberg and beat Bischoff with a speed in like 6 seconds. I like that.
That's
I
good.
Like that.
Well,
like that.
I mean, that's completely realistic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, like you can do that. 'Cause,
Oh,
like,
right.
In other games, it's like I remember like there wasn't kind of
You'd have like Hogan versus Jimmy Hart. Martha of Jimmy Hart. It's like, oh, it still takes about 3 or 4 leg drops
Yeah,
to beat
yeah.
him. It's like, I'm pretty sure if he did that, he would, you know.
yeah. I always remember like whenever I'd be playing like with friends or whatever, and I'd accidentally walk off the top of the Hell in the Cell, and just be like, no,
Bro, when I played online, that's all I used to do to people.
yeah,
I used to take them outside.
just walk off the game.
No, I would go up the cage, right? So you take them outside, you beat them up, you go up the cage,
Watching those Momo videos.
and you go up the cage and you wait, right? They'll eventually come up. You basically just do like a couple of moves at the top. The cell door goes through, right? And so there's a big gap now in the ceiling, and you're just like, ha. Now it didn't have collision detection, so if you walked over it, they would just fall through the middle. They would literally just fall through.
Yeah.
So I would just go up there, wait for them to come back up, and I'd just run round in circles. And they chase me around, and eventually I would just cut it really close, and eventually they'd just fall in. And
Nice.
then I'd do that like 2 more times.
Can you imagine if like Dave did that like in real life as like a wrestler, like on a WWE pay per view? It's like, what the hell is Dave doing? I don't know, but it's effective.
Just running in circles, and the other guy's like, "Whoa,"
I don't know
trying to
why.
get him.
I don't know why Jesse Ventura was the commentator there. Now that I think about it, the governor of Minnesota.
I was gonna say that's coming along.
It's not. It's just in my head right now. I will say Jesse Ventura is one of my heroes, so I don't want to get
dude.
heat
He's
don't want to get heat. Unbelievable.
unbelievable, man. Jesse
Yeah.
Ventura's the man.
The man.
The man.
You don't speak to animals.
What?
What?
You think of Ace Ventura, bro?
Ah.
Dude.
Yeah, I don't know who he is.
All right.
So
He was basically he was in the army, was a wrestler, became the governor of Minnesota.
And is now he's still involved in a lot of
Minnesota,
things.
eh?
He's still a lot involved in politics and things like that. But basically, he basically said he would run for president if they would allow him into the debates.
Yeah.
He was like, they normally don't let a third party into the debates. He's like, if you let me into the debates, I'll roast both candidates.
And he did. He won both. I think he won. He was a mayor first, wasn't he? He won when they allowed him to do that. He was the
Yeah.
mayor and the governor.
Yeah, he was
So,
down. He was down in the approval apparently, like way down. And then he's like, they let him in for his first debate, and his approval just soared. Like he literally in like that because he was able to debate and showcase his knowledge. Everyone's just like, oh shit, this guy knows his stuff.
Yeah, definitely worth checking out his clips online.
Aye.
The old alarm's going off.
Oh my
To really sleep in for that one.
God.
Anyway, so
I want to talk about something.
all right, okay.
I want to talk about something that impacted me. Something that was pretty.
Is it funny?
No,
Okay,
it's not funny.
I'm thinking maybe we should just not do that. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm joking. But-
That's okay. It was something. So the other day,
Well, I was going to say, should we talk about the Bray Wyatt thing first?
aye. Well, do you want-
Well, should we do that and then?
yeah.
Because it's topical,
So
people are wanting us. Well,
No.
Was that too rude?
No, it's fine.
What? Tell us.
No. Just that exchange was quite funny.
Why?
Just move on.
Do you know what I got worried about? I got worried. I was like, oh, this is serious. Is it serious?
No, you know what it is.
What?
It's about a certain television program.
Oh, right.
God
Yeah.
damn it.
Right, no, we definitely will. We definitely will discuss that.
So,
but I'm just saying.
so for now, I'm thinking we'll talk about Bray Wyatt.
Because I'm thinking, like, obviously people will what is topical. People will want us to talk about
I want to talk about that.
So the earlier that is in the podcast.
I want to talk about that too, to be fair.
Okay. And then next we will get onto that, right? But Bray Wyatt, the new Firefly Funhouse. Me and Dave are obviously wrestlers. Jake is a non-wrestling fan. Mm-hmm. I expressed my opinion on this online, and it's been one of the most shared and looked at tweets I have ever had. So I will read you my opinion of it. So my tweet was as follows on the situation. How much can I talk to fill the time of me getting to this?
While finding
yes.
the
man, you tweet a lot, man.
I do tweet a lot.
Because?
By finding the tweet that I discussed this. Yeah, here we go. So I said, honestly, I think the Bray Wyatt Funhouse stuff is awesome. Spoke about this in the podcast, but I think true horror is finding darkness in places it's not supposed to be in. You wouldn't judge The Exorcist on its first 5 minutes, so let's give it time and appreciate trying new things. So basically, my thought was, yeah, again, it's that I saw people, just being negative about it online immediately, and it's like, God, with social media now, it's like you just don't get a chance to breathe and develop ideas. It's like it's been out for 1 week, it's 5 minutes. Is it the whole review?
Speaking from experience with that
yeah,
one.
basically, remember that's what happened with Babs?
Yeah, exactly.
It got killed after 2 weeks because it was just like, nah, this isn't a $1 million idea within the first week. Bye. I was like, thanks, bro.
It was like literally like Mr. Burns opens a trap door.
Yeah.
And Dave's just like
release. It was just like, release the hounds. It was like,
But you know what? Again, we've proved we were right. Look at your character on the show.
That's true, yeah. One man's loss was our gain, I guess.
But anyway, if you haven't seen it, the Firefly Funhouse, it's one of the most interesting things I've seen in wrestling. You talked about it earlier, Dave.
Yeah.
Things seem to be coming round again. We're seeing more character stuff in wrestling now.
I like it.
So, like, for example, the Road to Double or Nothing 13. Have you seen Dustin Rhodes' promo yet?
I'm not seen the whole thing, but I'm familiar with what's going on.
Unbelievable. You must watch this.
Dude, Dustin Rhodes is one of the most underrated guys in the game.
But this promo in particular, it was like something off of like, I don't really watch it, but I've seen clips of like, is it True Detective or what's the show? Like that sort of style of editing. It was very interesting. But Firefly Funhouse, I found particularly interesting because we've actually talked about horror, especially on the 24-hour live stream, but actually in these podcasts as well. We talk about horror a lot and the idea of finding darkness in places it's not supposed to be in. And I think the Firefly Funhouse does that. It's kind of, how Stanley Kubrick would have no music and something scary would happen. He'd build up as if something scary would happen and then something wouldn't happen. To me, the things that are really scary is when you don't expect them to be scary, when it's unsettling. Because us as human beings, out in nature, we look for things that could possibly mean danger. So when we see signs of danger, we expect danger to come. When there's no signs and danger is there, then it's kind of weird. That's why I think that it's unsettling for darkness to be in places that's my kind of biological reason for it. But I watched that promo and I was like, I'm so excited by this, but I get worried because if someone is looking at the instantaneous reaction, some people were being overly negative to it. And I'm like, can we not just give this a few weeks to develop? That's my thoughts. Dave, what were you thinking?
I think my first reaction was, this is interesting, this is different. And then watching it, I found what I enjoyed about it was the contrasting nature of it. So one of the best bits of the whole thing is when he's talking about his animal friends and he shows the witch. Yeah. And it's like there's this bright blue sky and it's nice and bright and colorful. And then there's just this evil looking witch doll and you're just like, oh God.
I am absolutely terrified of dummies.
Really?
Yeah, all from that one Goosebumps
we
episode.
know what we're getting for your birthday.
Yeah, I hate him. I hate him.
But that's the thing. And I watch, and it's just, nobody, and this is the thing, and I'm going to give credit to not just the idea here, not just the character, but I want to give credit to Bray Wyatt actually as a performer, because one of the things I noticed is no one else is going to do that. The character could be played by anybody, but him as a performer have something that wrestling's kind of missing now, which is those small idiosyncrasies, those little kind of nuances to his voice, his facial expression, his tendencies. There's bits in it where there's a bit in it where he sort of stops and he almost kind of looks down and he sort of like, he stumbles his word for a second. And it's meant to almost convey like uncertainty about the topic he's discussing. And it's like, it shows through what he's saying. It's so... the way his eyes go up and down and he kind of changes his inflection on things, like it's something that we don't see an awful lot of. Now in pro wrestling, unfortunately, promos are kind of being done in such a way that it's very much what the words are. You know, what is being said is what is being said and not what is the underlying message underneath it, you know? I'm a big believer in show me, don't tell me. Well, you're saying one thing and you're going, I was a bad guy and I'm over that now, but underneath that, there's another layer of darkness to him. Like, I'm really excited to see, because there's moments in that, like especially where he has his eyes covered and he kind of has the two hands, the different words, and he then reveals himself to just be like happy again. I'm excited to see how they start to develop those concepts going forward.
I think it's probably that would make me tune into Raw to watch that. That's something that would make me tune in. And there's only one thing that I think, and again, who am I to criticize? It's not really a criticism, it's just a method of approach. There's only one bit that I felt didn't fit. And that was the editing of, you know, when like the screen went wavy for a second.
Yeah.
Like, to me, that just said, someone's edited that. It took me out the moment, if you know what I mean. Like, I just thought it was maybe a bit too in your face, that bit. Like, that's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. I almost, like, I'll give you an example. You know Rory Coyle, who's Defiant World Champion, right? What I look at him and what I'd kind of said about what he's doing, in my opinion, is if you look at what he wears to the ring, he shouldn't have like a pristine t-shirt of his merch. His should be all cut up and sewn together and custom. You know what I mean? If he's going for that darkness character, he wouldn't have a t-shirt that's hot off the press, you know? So to me, for example, if I'm watching that, because of the way like HD editing is now, it's like, rather than like, it looked like, to me, I saw a digital effect rather than interference, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, that's a good
again,
point, yeah.
that is a very small thing, and it's not wrong. And obviously, who am I? I'm just a dude in my second bedroom talking about, you know, my opinion. Like, obviously,
second bedroom.
Well, not
Oh,
second.
fucking Jesus!
Well, not second. Well, we've got one bedroom where we sleep,
Bedroom tax and all that. Hey,
God.
God.
And then there's this. But on the whole, I thought it was is one of the most exciting things I've seen in wrestling. I'm very excited about where it goes. And again, like you say, he's the perfect person to do this. And I think it takes some real balls.
He's extremely good, man. Like,
and I thought that was quite I looked in the comments and people who were being negative towards it, saying it was like, you know, childish or whatever, and someone turned around and said, really? Would you be comfortable with
your children?
Yeah,
you know what it gave
that?
me the vibes of? It gave me "Don't hug me, I'm scared" vibes.
Yeah. And that was in the comments a lot.
Pretty sure that
really.
was
That's what it gave me. That kind of like, we are here having a show. This is good. This is fun. And it's just suddenly like, oh, there's a live like human heart there, and you're just like, oh God, what the. That's
Wait, I didn't see that. What was that?
Don't hug me, I'm scared.
Oh yeah, I thought you were talking. Like,
No, but like, do you know what I mean?
I was like, whoa, they really went out there with this.
But it starts that, and then it starts with just like, this is great, this is fun, and then it just has those moments of. I didn't mind the effect because it kind of allowed me to go. It immediately told me what this is going to be.
Yeah.
It immediately let me know, okay, this is going to be this. It's not a. I think it needed something like that to have people invest in it, because if it just came across like happy-go-lucky, this is fun, I don't think it would have hit as hard. I think it's given potential. The little things in it is what I liked. One of the things I spotted was when he does the cutout of himself, and then the hand speaks to him. The hand has the word hurt on it, and it speaks to him, and it's like, he's got the other one that's got, I think it's heel on it.
Heel,
so I'm interested to see where that goes. Is this going to be a sort of split personality sort of gimmick? Like, I'm excited to see where this goes, man.
Oh, yes, as a non-wrestling fan.
Yeah,
what
so
did you think?
the thing with the sort of effect on the screen that you didn't like, I think that was necessary because on surface level, people might not see the underlying meaning of it.
Agreed.
And they might not see that it is actually supposed to be dark. That effect sort of tells you there is more to come. This is not as it seems.
As we've learned,
I would have made, like, again, it's who am I to criticize? It's not a criticism. Part of me was
who
thinking,
the
I know.
fuck are you?
No, you're right.
Seriously, who are you?
Yeah, no, you're right. I mean,
Where am I?
yeah.
Help.
No, I think, but as we've learned in the past, in pro wrestling, you have to be overt. You can't be subtle.
You know what? It's a good point.
Unfortunately, you can't be subtle.
It's a very good point. Again, we can't really. This is a wrestling vignette. This is a wrestling vignette, and we have to judge it as such. So you know what? I think on this occasion, I'm gonna have to take a step back and say that I think you guys are right.
Yeah, because we talk about it a lot, but like it's true. We've learned from experience that trying to introduce something completely brand new and different. Twice I've had it done to me where I've introduced something brand new, something completely different, complete 180, and twice it's basically been shot down immediately and not been given a chance.
And I think the thing as well is maybe I'm looking at it the wrong way because me personally and individually, I've already bought in. I think it's amazing. I think it's the most exciting thing I've seen in wrestling. So I'm looking for the little nuances, forgetting that the whole point of a vignette is to sell a new wrestling character to the audience who haven't already bought in.
Exactly.
So you know what? You guys are totally right. You're totally right.
Yeah, fuck you, Joe. We're right.
I thought overall it was very interesting. I like the look of it. I like the style.
And you don't like a lot of wrestling stuff.
No.
So
I just thought it was a very interesting take. It's something I've never seen in wrestling.
To draw you in means it's done something.
Yeah, I thought it was cool. I thought it was
very creative.
I'm not gonna go out my way to follow up on it.
But if
I see something else, I'm not gonna turn it off.
Yeah.
I would like to see where it goes eventually.
Nice. My only hope is that they spend the time to build it. I want him to be built up. I want him to be. I want to take some time. I want him to take some time with this because I don't want it to feel rushed. I'm excited to see the development of this character, and as we've seen before in things like all the Marvel movies and Game of Thrones and things, it's when you take your time with something, the payoff in the end is way better when things have been done over time and have done gradually. Don't rush this. I can only appeal to anyone who's happens to be like, I fancy watching some crazy stuff on the internet today. Let's listen to the Joe Hendry show. If there's anybody who has an important role in anything related to that happens to be watching or listening to this, please take your time. I'm really excited to see where this goes.
I actually I saw on Twitter there was a guy working with a production company who was involved. So I don't know if they're with WWE or what the deal is, but I'd love to reach out. Like, actually, I liked one of their tweets, so I'm going to go and have a look and try and find who it is because I love that aspect of wrestling. Like, see, when I'm done wrestling, I looked at that and was jealous, I thought, that is fantastic. And that's when something's awesome. But I'm inspired by it, and when I'm done actually physically wrestling, I really want to be involved in a creative way because I love that's wrestling to me. That is
trending,
wrestling
dude.
to me.
It was trending on Twitter. It was trending on YouTube, dude.
And I'll tell you what, on a personal level, I've got a lot of respect for Bray Wyatt because we were, again, this is when I was doing extra work.
Here we fucking go.
I know.
Joe was at WWE.
You can just call this episode Joe Flexes on Dave and Jake.
Joe's just like, but when I was working at WWE.
When I have a house with 2 bedrooms.
I don't own it. I didn't get hired. So, but basically I said to him, I was like, what do I, I'm an extra here. What do I have to do? Like, what do I have to do to get a job here? And he's like, well, he said, this is not going to be the thing that gets you a job here. He says, being an extra right now, this is not the thing that gets you the job. Right now, they want to know who you are. They want to get to know you. Can you do the job? It's almost like a driving test. It's like, don't do something stupid, that sort of thing. So it's like, that was really helpful advice because it made me realize that I don't need to rush it right now. I don't need to push this. I just need to show that I can get the job done, I have to say, on that, I think it was the same tour when I did the Rusev stuff where I was basically introducing him. And I'll genuinely tell you that I think that's the hardest thing I've ever had to do in my life. More than the Commonwealth Games. more than winning a British title.
Oh, don't rule on Gardner us now. Jeez.
What's that?
He was the guy that beat. So in amateur wrestling, do you know who Alexander Karelin is?
Not really.
He was a Greco-Roman wrestler who was undefeated for like 15 or 20 years, and he was like the best in the world. He was a beast, and he went undefeated for years. And this guy from America, this kind of like overweight, kind of like fat guy.
Oh yeah,
beat
I
him
know who you're talking
by
about.
one point because he let go of his grip.
Yeah.
Karelin retired that day. He retired, and then like a few years later, it was just like Rulon Gardner was on one of those like fat camp things. Like celebrity fit camp things, and he was like crying and going like, "This is harder than when I won the Olympic gold medal." And it's just like, "Oh God, bro!" Like,
I don't think it is, you know,
probably not.
but for some people it is, you know.
I was just like, "Come on, bro!"
But when you said Rulon Gardner, I thought I was missing out on something there, but
Yep,
definitely worth going down that route.
Absolutely.
But
this is the content you guys.
I know. You guys come here for amateur wrestling.
Of course.
The amateur wrestling hour. Where was it? What the hell? Oh, the Rusev thing. Yeah, I remember thinking like that was the hardest thing I've ever had to do in my life, and I remember the pressure. But I knew in my mind I was like, if I nail this, I can always say like, well, I've proved I can get the job done on TV first time. And if I mess, and I knew in my mind, I was like, see if I balls this up, I will never be back here. And it's weird. It's like, I know that's maybe not true. Maybe you get a second opportunity, but I just remember thinking I would never be back here. Like, I don't know why I thought that.
I think for like your mental state at that point, that was the best thing to think. Because then you had to do it perfectly. I
am not joking. I never shy away from any challenge, but when I was backstage, I almost said, I can't do this.
Wow.
Have you ever known me to do that in anything?
No, literally no.
Almost. And the reason was, it was just like there was so much to remember. You got to say it in a Russian accent. It's like it's live TV. It's and you know what? I went out there and like I said, went there, said the first bit, and I knew I only had to get through the first 2 pages because the next part was actually in the folder. Now I'll tell you this, folks. This is a true story, right? So I've always said it's one of my dreams to work with Vince McMahon, but I kind of already have. Not directly, I didn't speak to him, but he passed on messages to me through an agent. So I had kind of gone out and I had done the speech, and he'd said, so it was me and Lionheart were there, and we've spoken about this before, but basically, so he didn't get a chance to show his when Vince was watching. So they that was a weird noise from the mic. So I did the speech, and then the agent goes, okay, Vince wants you to do it. So I'm thinking, yes, I've already done it. And he's actually, he liked it so much, he's going to add some more lines. So I'm already looking at it like thinking, I've had to learn all this. And then so they've added more lines. And but having to remember that on TV, and I remember I got through that, and I think the thing is, see in life, if I was to wrestle in WWE or do something like that, it's built up to that point because you've done these things, you've wrestled on shows, you've wrestled on Kurt Angle, you've wrestled Kurt Angle, but I don't think with anything else I will ever do in my life there will ever be a bigger gap between my experience level and what I'm being asked to do. Yeah. And being able to get over that was like, oh, gee, it was the hardest thing I've ever had to do.
Go play in the World Cup.
Go play in the World Cup. No, but there would be no expectation of me.
But everyone thinks you're gonna win.
Oh yeah, then that would suck. But again, just to go back to the whole Bray Wyatt thing, I'm really excited by it. It's the thing I've been most excited about in wrestling. And I'm glad as a non-wrestling fan you enjoyed it. Yeah, and that's the thing. But
like, my first question was like, what, do people not like this? Because like there was a reason you were showing me it.
Yeah, because
I just don't get why someone wouldn't like it. Like, why are people so against new things?
See the fact it's drawn you in. That's what draws people in, right? Yeah. Characters. And the thing is, we're in wrestling now where it's like everything's all about gifts. It's like, how many more cutters from the middle rope or the top rope or backflips or dives out the ring or Canadian destroyers can I see before it's like, well, I've seen that, you know? Whereas characters... Sorry, carry on, Dave.
No, you're right.
That's kind of... I was done.
No,
anyway. That's
yeah,
kinda what
I
was
agree with that. I think characters are the most important thing. That's what draws people in. And when you compare to a game like shows like Game of Thrones, people watch it for the characters. I'm sure there's people watching it for dragons and zombies, but like you watch it for the characters. That's what it's all about. And I think it's the same with wrestling. When the spectacle gets so high, it goes in a circle, and you end up back at just the raw human aspect of it, which is characters.
That's a pretty awesome summary.
That was actually really good.
Do you want to add anything?
It reminds me of, again, if you look back in wrestling, like look at Rock and Hogan facing off against each other. You know, they didn't even do anything yet. They hadn't done anything, and the fans are on their feet because they know who these two people are.
Yeah.
There was a moment, one of my favorite moments in wrestling ever was, I think, the 2001 Rumble. And it's like midway through the Rumble, whatever, and there's just a moment where everyone clears, and on one corner you've got The Rock kind of getting to his feet, and he's stumbling getting to his feet. On the other corner you've got Stone Cold, face all bloodied up, and they're both like, and they catch each other's eye like across the ring.
That's
and it's
cool.
just like, then the cameras are focusing on like, oh shit, these two have just like, and here we go. And they don't say anything, they literally just glance at one another.
That's
and
cool.
people start coming up for it and being like, oh shit.
Yeah.
And it's just, that's it. Two characters that were so well liked and so good that all they had to do was just have a glance across the ring, and it's like, shit, son. And that, we've lost that, I think, in wrestling for, unfortunately, now. And I'm glad to see it coming back in some form. Like that, to me, is something that I'm excited for, you know?
And speaking of character development, Dave, you want to tell us about something from this week?
So I finally was shown.
Oh, it was Saturday, wasn't it?
It was Saturday. So it was last week. I was shown for the first time Black Mirror.
Well, we watched it here.
We watched it here.
So we recorded a podcast, and then I was like, Dave, before you go, you got to check this show out.
So Joe said to me, he says, we're going to watch Black Mirror. So and I was like, oh, I'll give it a watch. Yeah, cool. And we put on this one called Shut Up and Dance. And from what I can gather, and I haven't looked at any of the other episodes, I don't know what happens in.
You watched one more.
We watched 2 episodes. We watched Shut Up and Dance, and we watched White Bear. Now, from what I can gather, from what I've found, is that those 2 are 2 of the most popular episodes.
Yes, they're two favorite.
Okay, so they're 2 of the best, and there's another one that people.
My favorite's not in there though.
There's
What's
one.
your favorite?
The entire history of you.
Really? Is there one called Bandersnatch?
That's like an interactive
It's
movie
okay.
you can skip.
Because someone said that's like Beast as well.
Well, actually, that's a topic in itself because
I've not actually seen it.
Let me put it this way: when I watched Bandersnatch, what happened when we watched it is there's basically there's endings of various quality.
Oh, is
right?
this the
It's
thing
an
you were talking about where you have to
yeah.
make decisions on it?
Yeah, there's endings of various quality, right?
Yeah.
So what actually happened when me and Sophie watched it? We started watching it. We started answering stuff as we would normally, and then a little bit into it, we started going, let's try and mess with it a little bit to see what happens.
Oh, you're
And
the kind of bastards that I hate, man.
well, but wait. So we did that about a third of the way through, and by doing so, we actually reached the ultimate ending.
Ooh.
So I went through, and the whole thing is actually about the illusion of choice, not actual choice.
Yeah.
So, but usually you get cut out of it, and then you have to go back a step and all that. But we just, in a oneer, just basically went from the start to the real ending. So basically, I went there thinking there were thousands of combinations.
And then you fucked
There
around
wasn't.
with it.
There was only really a few. But I just so happened to get there with the ultimate path of doing so. So when I watched it, I was like, I finished it and thought, this is the best thing I've ever seen. Because what I've just watched is this unique adventure, and there's all these hundreds of other possibilities. Well, let's try it again. So we went back, tried it again, and it ruined it all. So
Really?
if you watch Bandersnatch, watch it once and just do it as you would.
Yeah,
Interesting.
some of my friends have said that they thought it was pretty shit, but they enjoyed doing it with a group of people.
Yes.
And just getting
See, it
having
seems,
a piss up. And,
yeah, it seems
and
like it'd be
just
fun to do
having
with a
fun
group
with
of
it.
people.
Yeah.
Like, but so we watched Shut Up and Dance, and again, for those who have watched Black Mirror, for those who haven't, spoilers ahead.
Yeah.
honestly, I'll tell you this right now. I probably will watch them once, and then maybe once more in my life. The reason being is I look at them the same way I look at, like, say, Django Unchained or something like that. It's very, very impactful. It's very intense. And unfortunately, a second viewing isn't going to be quite as satisfying as the first.
That's a good point, yeah.
The first viewing is like...
Counterpoint, just real quick.
Go for it.
It's like, with a show like Black Mirror, there is so much depth to it.
Yeah.
That you get a lot of value out of rewatches.
See, now I've heard that. And again, that's what I'm saying. I'll probably watch it one more time. I tend to look at things more after. So I don't really watch it again, but I tend to research it and then go, oh, I missed that or this. So shut up and dance. So again, as I say, if you guys haven't seen it, for God's sakes, go see it. Spoilers ahead. If you don't want to hear them,
pause this podcast.
Pause this and go watch it.
Basically, is what we're about to say going to reveal what happens in Shut Up and Dance?
Yeah, I mean, it's been out for like over a year.
Yeah, dude, because we need to talk about it.
Just spoil it.
No, it's a bit dark for the podcast.
Okay, we won't talk about the details. We won't talk about the details. But basically, so as we said...
White Bear we can talk about,
Yeah, I pretty much had it figured out. How long were we in when I kind of figured
genuinely,
out?
it took Dave about 2 minutes.
Really?
He was sitting on the couch, and then I said, after about 5 minutes, I went, so what do you think? And Dave said, well, I'm concerned by this because in the first scene, it showed us this, and I thought, something's going on there, so therefore, when he went back to the bedroom, that got me thinking that in actual fact, this is what happened. He had it completely figured out within 5 minutes.
Fair
and
enough.
I pretty much, I remember I spotted the car park immediately, and you're just like,
I didn't even notice that was the same car park that they went back to.
When
Stuff like
Braun
that.
and
how
the
all
kids
stories link up.
go back to the car park. They go into that car park midway through. Remember the car park at the very first scene where that woman hides the keys under the car?
Oh, yeah.
As soon as I saw it, I was like, oh, it's that same car park from the start.
Yeah, so I knew that.
There are wee things that are meant to be like subliminal messages that I think Dave just...
I caught it immediately.
Possibly.
I'm a big fan of subtext and reading between the lines and stuff. Again, like I say, it goes for video games as well. As I say, I'm a huge fan of again, I'm a big fan. I like storytelling in games. I like storytelling in movies. I like storytelling in anything. But I like the subtlety of it. I like the kind of... That's why I'm a big fan of things like... Well, we're on camera there. Super Metroid and things, because it tells an entire story with very little to no dialogue. It's all about subtext and what's shown to you rather than told to you.
Just play Dark Souls.
I will.
Just do it.
But that's the thing. And so I'm watching that, and I'm just like, but you're going through your head because it gives you no... For those who haven't seen it, it gives you no context. It's like, it just says, right, this is what you're doing.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, you got to figure out from what you're going on. Who are these characters? What are these people doing?
I like that. I like it when it just drops you in the universe. And
Sometimes,
you have to figure it out.
I accidentally did that. I may have mentioned on the podcast before, but I watched This Is England 90s or something, like the series.
Yep.
Not realizing there's 3 previous series. And I watched the first episode, I was like, this is so good. It's like, I've just been dropped into these characters' lives, and I have to figure out all these relationships and the intricacies of and there's little mentions of previous relationships and things that happened, and I'm like, this is amazing. And then I was like, oh, I'm actually on season 3.
Well, that's like when I kept falling asleep in the first season of Game of Thrones, and I thought it was the first season was a murder mystery, and in fact, it just shows you what happens in the first episode. And I was like, that would have helped. That would have helped. But I was like, who did it?
But I have to praise the acting was fucking
the lead actor
tremendous. Tremendous. What was funny is that the guy, the driver, is a really popular character from Game of Thrones as well. So as soon as I saw him, I was like, oh shit!
Yeah,
that's Jerome Flynn. But yeah, I thought very, very dark. Mm-hmm. Very, very dark. I knew there was something dodgy about it. Just as soon as it was the subject matter, as soon as he was so concerned and so paranoid about what happened and what would be shown, I knew immediately. I was like, there's something fucking fugazi.
I think for most people, I think they think for most people when they watch it, they're like, this is a little far.
That's what I thought. Yeah,
but
you don't put two together.
Yeah, I didn't put it.
I put it together immediately.
So when I was watching it, I was going, "Oh, well, he's overreacting a bit." I mean, it'd be
embarrassing.
You're not going to go through this,
I put it together immediately just because of the shit they put at the start. Because I was just like, Nope. You know what it was? The first scene wasn't the one that got me. I will say this. It did, and I'll spoil this bit here. When he's in the restaurant and he gives the toy back to the kid, during it, he stares. He doesn't stare at the mother at all. He doesn't look at the mother at all when she's thanking him at all. He doesn't even look at her. He completely blanks her.
See, what's interesting is I thought that was, when I watched it, I thought this is obvious storytelling showing that he's a really caring person.
Yeah.
You know?
But that was the thing. He doesn't look at the mother at all. Even when she's speaking to him, he doesn't look at her one bit. It was the drawings on the next bit that got me.
I think that's true.
He looks at the drawings and it's too long.
He's fixated.
He's just fixated on the draw. I'm just like, nope. It's too weird.
Do you know why I think you might have got it? One reason, because I think you're built that way. You look for the lore. You love the lore.
I do.
But also, I think it's probably because we prepared you for this super detailed thing. Whereas the first time I saw that, I think that might have been one of, if not the first episode I saw. I think it might have been the first episode I saw. Yeah. So,
really?
I think so. Yeah.
Damn.
Wow.
Oh no, it was the pig one, and then that.
Right.
So
Shut Up and Dance is like season 3.
I know I didn't see it till late on, and then I binge watched like the whole thing.
Oh, because I watched like all of season 1 when it came out. Or not when it came out, but I watched all of season 1, and then I watched all of season 2 when it came out, and then 3 when it came out. So
so we watched that one, and again, like I say, like that twist, like that messed me up, man. I was like I knew it was coming, but I was just like. I didn't know it was coming, but in my head I'd already prepared myself if that was what I thought was coming.
Yeah. I think there's little things that that are meant to be, like I was saying, subliminal messages almost, that are kind of just dropped in there, but I think you sometimes have a net that just catches them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And so that was really, I don't know, I almost feel like you may have spoiled the show for me by letting me see that one first, because I tell you what, that one was and it's going to be hard to top that. Because that was intense, man.
That's.
Well, the thing is,
I was intrigued the whole time. And I was coming up with things like, again, he meets the guy on the roof, and I'm like, there's something up with this guy. I don't like him. There's something wrong with him. He's involved in this too. And then he meets the other person, and again, they're all involved. And I was like, that woman. And then I've thought back to the woman at the start with the keys under the car. I was like, she's involved in this too.
See, I got that immediately.
Yeah,
I got that.
No, that was
clear.
obvious. I think.
Yeah, that's clear.
Is that they're all being manipulated by the same person?
Yes,
they did.
I think that's obvious.
Little things like the journeys as well. Like when he's traveling to and from the locations. They did a perfect job cutting it. Like, it was just long enough to make me there, but not too long that I felt like, oh, he's going from fucking Winterfell down to King's Landing and he's going to take 3 episodes to get there.
Yeah.
It wasn't like that.
Not in season 7.
Nope. But you know what I mean? Well, we'll talk about that another time, because I've actually got a theory on that. Or not a theory, but a logical reason why they do that. But they kept, everything was perfect to keep me intrigued. I was on the edge of my seat the whole time, even though in my head I was like, I know what he's done. I know what he's done. I'm telling you, I was more intrigued as to who was the people behind it. Who were the ones, the trolls behind him.
But the thing is, it almost doesn't matter.
No,
it's more about the human condition, isn't it?
Well, I think it's a nod to Anonymous, how they actually do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not to that scale, but they do go after people who are.
I was wondering,
pretty dark stuff.
I thought they were going to reveal who it was, and I thought there was I thought maybe it was his sister who installed it on his computer. Maybe it was the guy that was the driver.
I think the impactful part about it is that it's someone that has nothing to do with him and he's never met.
Yeah.
It is a group of people or a person that has had nothing to do with him and he does not know who they are.
It's vigilante justice that is behind the screen.
Yeah. And it's I think they're completely unrelated.
And the thing is, it's like it really puts pressure on your brain to think about morality,
Yeah.
Because it's like, it's because it portrays him in a sympathetic position, So which is when it's all kind of revealed, it's quite uncomfortable.
Yeah,
it's quite uncomfortable.
Because you've been rooting for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a weird thing.
We watched White Bear, which was completely different.
But when you think about it, the story arc
very similar.
Is actually quite similar.
So White Bear was interesting.
You didn't like that?
Not really.
Why? I loved it.
So White Bear was interesting because, again, the hardest bit of watching White Bear was trying to completely ignore everything I'd already seen in Shut Up and Dance. Completely trying to ignore that was weird. I almost tried to look for certain things that I knew maybe weren't going to be there. And I'll tell you what, I didn't figure that one out. I couldn't figure that one out.
Yeah,
it gives no subtle clues, in my opinion. Well, it does give subtle clues, but they're very subtle. Extremely subtle clues as to what's going on. And you have to have confidence in the show. I think if I'd watched White Bear later, I would have figured it out. Because it was the second one I watched, I didn't have 100% confidence in the show yet. Even though I'd watched that Shut Up and Dance and it was amazing, I just drummed up my first response, and I'll tell you this is actually what went through my head. And I didn't say this, but what went through my head was there's a bit in White Bear where they're inside the shop, and the guy is coming up and he's trying to break through the glass, right?
Yep.
My first two thoughts were, that guy's not really trying to smash that glass. He's not hitting it very hard.
That's interesting, yeah.
Second thought was the other girl that was there, not the main girl, but the one that was like helping her. I was like, she seems like a bit of a shit actor. I was like, she's not really into this.
Yeah,
like, she seems a bit like she's underacting a little bit. I was like,
it's true.
I was like, this guy's a killer out there. He's a fucking crazy bastard. He's trying to come in here, and she's like, I'll get the door. I was like, I'd be going mad. I'd be like, I'll get the fucking door.
I do think that's a deliberate choice.
No, exactly.
Because it shows the difference between them, because she does that and she's like, and they wouldn't have portrayed her.
No,
they wouldn't have portrayed her
saying.
so hysterically if that wasn't the contrast.
That's what I'm saying. I think if I'd watched more episodes and knew to look for even deeper things like that, I would have not noticed that, because it was I did spot it, but I didn't think it was intentional. I thought it might just been like, it just wasn't as well done as the other one.
Thing
looking back on it, I'm like, of course because she's in on it. So of course she's not going to be fucking as hysterical as the woman who has no idea, you know. And when you look back on it, the contrast between the two, fucking amazing.
One thing I'm gonna say is like those are probably two of the worst episodes to be shown at the start,
because it spoils the rest of them. Because they're not as good.
Well, not that, but they're just very different. I would say don't be looking for the same things.
Yeah,
those two episodes are very similar. The other episodes are not. There's like the only thing connecting Black Mirror episodes is that essentially technology ruins lives.
Yeah,
that's it.
And the museum episode.
I didn't like the museum episode.
Really?
I thought it was shit. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I really didn't like it.
Wow. Did you think it was just lore for the sake of lore?
I think it was like, here's all the other ideas that weren't good enough to be an episode.
See, I really liked it.
I did. I
I
thought it
think-
was so unrealistic.
I might have to give it a watch now. I might have to give that one a watch.
You should watch it from the start. Watch the first episode all the way through.
Okay.
They're all different, so you can watch them in different order, but it's
Yeah.
just easier. And I think you can, if you do it that way, you will see the difference between seasons 1 and 2 and 3, because season 3 is when it got picked up by Netflix.
Yeah.
And became American.
Actually, I will say this. I did say there I didn't figure out White Bear, but I'll tell you what, I actually kind of, when I think about it, I actually kind of half did. Because there's a moment, remember, where I said, I think she's in purgatory. Or she's in limbo of some kind.
You said purgatory.
Yeah, well, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Did the same thing. So it's a moment where she keeps refreshing and she's getting like flashbacks to things. And I was like, she's done this before.
But again, I think that's you're told that though.
Yeah. That's the kind of thing that they purposely put in to make you doubt it. You know, Charlie Brooker's really good at doing that, is making you doubt what's going on.
Yeah, so I was
Isn't
kind of
it
like...
amazing that he came from a comedy background and then got into this.
Dude, he was a writer. He wrote articles for The Guardian.
Not true, but it's just...
Yeah, it's mental.
Yeah.
He used to just write articles about random shit for The Guardian. I studied him at college.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I studied a couple of his articles. I really, really enjoyed his writing as well. It was really good. It was really funny. And it always tied together real nicely.
Oh, it's neighbors.
Yeah, it's just the neighbors.
Neighbors. Everybody has shite neighbors.
Shut the hell up when we're recording.
Or we'll throw you into the wasp's nest.
Screenwipe and Newswipe. They were really good shows.
But yeah.
Brooker is a genius. That's all I can say.
Yeah, I tell you what, so I didn't see the twist coming at the end of the White Bear. I remember like it came up and I'm like, the fuck? I remember I looked over at you and I was just like, eh?
Yeah, that bit with the shotgun's awesome. I love it.
Blew me. I was like, what the fuck? When she fired it, and I'm like, eh?
It's such a weird moment.
And then I'm like,
it's because it all just gets flipped.
Yeah, it's a sensory overload, and it's almost like you're just dropped into a new environment, and you're like, what the hell's going on?
I like that they kept it unclear as well. They're like, how much of an influence was she on the initial crime? Because she filmed it, clearly. She didn't commit the crime, but she certainly filmed it. And it's like, but there's arguments that she was under the guise of, or under the kind of like almost like the influence of the other guy.
Yeah, and you think,
and he goes and does himself a favor so he doesn't have to suffer, and now she's left to pick up the pieces.
But it makes you ask the question, you know,
does
any person, not necessarily even that, but does this person deserve what's happening to them?
Yeah.
Well, it made me kind of, I was kind of like, I don't know. I was.
I mean,
so
if someone
torn.
did that to,
in
if someone
Black
did that
Mirror,
to you,
the answer is usually not really. Like
sort
Yeah.
of.
like I know, people have done some bad stuff in the show, but like it's a bit far.
Yeah, I was like,
It's a little far.
You know what's worrying though? What's really worrying about it, and what's really kind of intriguing about it is like you can see shit like that happening in years to come. Like maybe not in our lifetime.
Yeah, I mean the show
Not in our
is,
lifetime, but like I can see in like, I mean, yeah, in like 100 years or something, them doing shit like that. Like,
do you remember there was a rumor that there was going to be a game show in Russia where it was actually like a battle royale situation?
Yeah. Maybe
Do you
that
think
was like in the
was that just
process of being.
Was that just all bollocks, or do you think it was
no?
just the
I think that was the backlash. Yeah,
Really?
because they were
That's
like
crazy.
signing waivers to be like.
you
well,
can get killed. Yeah, it was basically they were signing-
Basically, they were having people sign waivers to say
you can't
anything can happen.
So
to them.
basically,
Anything.
there will be no legal consequences to anything. that
No
happens.
laws
Yeah,
in
no
any
laws.
way.
And it's
literally
like
is just like
person
battle royale.
alive gets the money.
Basically, just Hunger Games.
Yeah.
But you know what?
Fuck that, dude.
But you know what? As much as you would say you wouldn't,
People would
you
watch.
would
Well,
watch.
that's the thing,
People
like,
would watch.
People
If
would watch,
if the gladiator pits were popular, I'd go see them.
bro. Yeah,
Like if that was something that people did
dude, we watch MMA.
and it was normal, like it's just
You know?
hyper
But
MMA.
actually, let me take a step back from that. I'll tell you what I don't want to see: bare knuckle boxing. Have you seen any of that stuff?
See, I've seen
It's
bare knuckle
really
boxing.
brutal.
Like, but they've put it into like the mainstream now, so it's like hyper produced, like UFC and stuff like that. There's a new bare knuckle boxing federation that had Artem Lobov, and it's like the state of both of their faces at the end of it. It's
Yeah.
like, what are we doing here, guys?
Yeah.
And did you hear the promoter just got up and about one of the fights and says,
Yeah.
"Listen, guys," he was like, "When you fight for bare knuckle boxing, you come to fight or you don't get paid. So guess what? You're not getting half your fight purse. Make some noise, people."
I was
So
like,
literally, like he wasn't happy with how the guys were fighting. So he's like, "You're only getting paid."
do you want to do that, bro? Fucking make movies. You know, you can decide the outcomes.
That
you know,
pissed me off so
Yeah.
much.
you can go make a TV show about bare knuckle boxing. Don't actually run a league. You know, it pisses me off when that happens, man. It happens in MMA a lot, even in like the UFC and stuff, where they're just like, all I did was take him down and fucking wrestle him. I'm like, yeah, bro, you think I'm gonna fight with a Muay Thai fighter? I'll take him down and just punch his face on the ground. I'm not gonna get kicked in the head. That pisses me off, man. But yeah, well, I mean, Rogan's been a proponent of bare knuckle boxing for a long time. He claims it's safer because
I think he's wrong.
because
I think he's wrong.
fighters won't punch as hard.
Well,
Although
you saw from that
it
burn-
is statistically a fact that there has been more deaths in boxing since the introduction of boxing gloves.
Oh, and I could agree with that.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what. After this is done, have a look at both guys' faces
Yeah.
after they're done.
However-
Because I used to be on that side. But I saw it and I thought I never want to see that again.
Although if they are both willing to do it and they're consenting to do it,
I don't think you should be able to consent to that. It's actually, to be honest with you, it's even made me ask questions about MMA and stuff like that. Like I think about it, because obviously, you know, I had seriously considered doing it, and I think about the risks, and I'm like, oh, it's just everything we know now about concussions, and it's scary. It's scary to me.
At the end of the day, though, like if someone told me, Dave, you're not going to be able to do MMA now because you can't, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, it's like
Don't get me wrong, I love the sport. I'm just saying, for me personally,
Yeah.
I now weigh it up and go, I don't think it's worth the squeeze. I don't think the juice is worth the squeeze for me.
yeah. I think the thing is, again, let's be honest. We're not looking at an example. We're looking at an example of two guys in the bare knuckle fight that maybe were a wee bit. Let's put it this way: they weren't exactly, top line strikers. They weren't exactly doing a huge amount to avoid each other. There was a lot of brawling and just sort of scrapping in there, which, as we've seen in even MMA and boxing with gloves, comes out as bad. Have you seen? Remember the Dan Severn fight? Not
true.
Dan. Sorry, not Dan. Severn, Don Fry.
Hongman.
Chow,
yeah. I see what you're saying, but I often find that things are more dangerous when there's a stalemate because it just goes on forever. So when you get two super high level people, they'll be bashing each other's face in for ages, even though there will be more avoidance and stuff like that. But like with the lower level competition, I usually find that one person tends to dominate the other. You know,
Isn't that what people want to watch?
I don't know.
It really depends. It
like,
really depends.
Would you not rather watch, like, what was it, the Anthony Joshua Klitschko fight?
Yeah,
where it went on for a really long time, and it was really close.
I would honestly rather watch. I think that, for example, I think that to me, high level sports can be boring. High level sports can be boring. I find it more interesting when it's not super high level. So it's more about, like, for example, that's why I know, like, that. I think that's one of the reasons why I was never a fan of football, but I thought the local games were kind of more interesting to me because the higher level teams were like, just everything was so efficient and so perfect.
Okay, so
whereas, like,
actually, I agree. So recently there was a Counter-Strike tournament in Rio de Janeiro.
Yeah.
And none of the top teams went. Not a single one. It was all tier 2, tier 3 teams.
Yeah.
And in the finals, it's like two teams you would just never expect. Like they're just not that great. Like they're great players, but the teams themselves are just not up to standards. Like they would get absolutely floored by any of the top teams.
By any of the major teams.
It was one of the most entertaining matches I've ever seen.
I know what you mean.
Because there was mistakes. There was like fuck ups. And there was multiple times where they could see the enemy on the screen, but they just didn't see him. It was hilarious. They were just walking past each other.
Yeah. Whereas that wouldn't necessarily happen in a high level competition.
It wouldn't. No.
I'll give you an example from MMA. One of my favorite things that I noticed was when Brock Lesnar first got in. He didn't have that. He was a high level guy,
But that's why the heavyweight division is so interesting.
they don't have that fear of, because when you get two guys that are very skilled, they tend to take their time and it's very much calculated. It's very much a chess game. For me, a guy like Brock, he almost just shot the takedown immediately. I mean, the thing is, I think when he first fought Frank Mir, the first fight, within 5 seconds he goes for the double leg, and Frank was like, "I did not see that coming." He was like, "I did not see it coming. I didn't think he would do that. I thought he would not do anything as crazy as that." And it's like, that's it. Because he didn't really have prior knowledge of it, all he knew was, well, my first fight, I dominated him. In wrestling, I dominated. It's like, well, fuck it, I'll just fucking take him down. And it's almost like two high-level guys he'd respect Frank's jiu-jitsu too much. Or someone else would be like, I don't want to go in there because they might hit me here. It's like, Lesnar, to me, didn't have enough experience to be afraid of that stuff. That's why sometimes you see guys at training who come in that are new. An amateur wrestling, and we see them, and sometimes they don't have that sort of, they've never been sprawled on, and they don't have that fear. Remember we talked about it where it's like,
well, it's interesting. I often find that if someone new comes to amateur wrestling, the most difficulty I have with beating them ever is the first time we wrestle.
Yeah, because you need to figure them out, and they don't have that fear.
And they don't have the fear, but then when as soon as they know,
I'll get sprawled on, or I'll get headlocked,
they just close up, and it becomes much easier every time.
They become a lot more cautious about doing things. They don't want to take the shot because, they might get caught or they might get sprawled upon, and it's that same thing. It's that same thing in anything,
I'm just thinking that's where time's cracking on.
Yeah,
time is cracking on. Actually, that just before we go, I remember at the Commonwealth Games. When I sprawled on a takedown, and I did successfully sprawl it, his head just drove straight, just what you were talking about there, straight into like my pubic bone, and it was like a pain I've never felt. It was so sore, and I remember thinking, oh my God, I'm going to be pissing blood after this. Like, I just thought that is one of the weirdest, most horrible feelings I've ever felt. Damn. And again, just when you say sprawling, it's like, that's one time when I sprawled and it hurt me. But no, I mean, that was an intense situation, but we'll talk about that another time. But anyway, this has been the Joe Hendry Show.
Did you pee blood?
What's that? I didn't pee blood.
Oh, okay.
I didn't.
Right. Piss blood on you good.
But
let me win or I'll piss on you with blood.
That's got to be a 12 out of 10 on the pictures already.
Pissing blood on someone else. Yeah.
You get removed from the register if you do it and get personal gain out of it. That's a pardon.
Yeah, a pardon. A pissed yourself pardon. It's a PYP, mate. It's a PYP. You'll get a PYP. Anyway, so this has been the Joe Hendry Show. Dave, socials.
I am Dave Conrad UK on all social media.
Oh, good. I thought there was something else after that.
Nope.
Jake.
I am the Jabicus on Twitter and Twitch.
And I am Joe Hendry on Instagram, Joe Hendry on Twitter, Joe Hendry Local Hero on Facebook, because you can't change it. The main thing is, folks, if you do enjoy our content, go support us at patreon.com/Joe Hendry. Also check out henryshop.com and subscribe to the YouTube. And also leave us some nice comments on iTunes and stuff. Leave us 5-star reviews and all that. Yay. Thanks, folks.
We deserve it.
We deserve it.
Yes, we do.
You're worth it. Anyway.
Maybe it's Maybelline. That's the wrong
sponsored by Maybelline. maybe she's worth it. Maybe it's... No, wait. What? Is that not right?
No, it's the wrong one.
What's it? Maybe she's worth it. Maybe it's... Was it?
It's not L'Oreal or some shit.
No, maybe it's Maybelline.
I think you're right.
Yeah. That
Is it
literally
not like-
rhymes.
No, it's because you're worth it is one of them.
It's like L'Oreal.
Maybe
you're
it's
worth it.
maybe she's born with it. Maybe it's
she's born
Maybelline. That's
with
it. Oh man, that messed with me. Maybe you're worth it. Maybe it's
Little.
that was some that's messed me up as much as Bray Wyatt's promo with just
Lidl's own brand shampoo, because you're worthless.
There you go. On that note, we'll see you next time, folks. Thank you. Oh man, that mouse.